Coming up on Network Africa, new ANC leader Cyril Ramaphosa vows to tackle corruption. And Ethiopia's MPs from Amara and Oromia regions boycott parliament, demand explanations for ethnic unrest. And later, Ugandan parliament scraps presidential age limit. Hello everyone, I am PC Adebayo. The new leader of South Africa's governing African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa, has pledged to fight corruption and pursue a policy of radical economic transformation. He was elected on Monday to succeed President Jacob Zuma as party leader, and he is in a strong position to become president at the elections in 2019.
This conference has resolved that corruption must be fought with the same intensity and purpose that we fight poverty, unemployment, and inequality. This conference, with overwhelming agreement, unanimous agreement, has resolved that the expropriation of land without compensation should be amongst the mechanisms available to government to give effect to land reform and redistribution. It has also been resolved that in implementing this decision, we must ensure that we do not undermine the economy, the agricultural production, and food security in our country. That is what is important.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa is in South Africa on a one-day working visit to meet his South African counterpart Jacob Zuma and to woo back investors and revive his country's ailing economy. This is his first foreign trip since taking office following Robert Mugabe's resignation and an army takeover last month. Mr. Mnangagwa is expected to meet business people keen on investing in Zimbabwe on his trip. Analysts say the new president will want to encourage this diaspora people to come back home and invest too. A South African journalist, Bongani Siziba, joins us now for more on the development in South Africa. It's good to see you again, Bongani. Now, let's begin with Cyril Ramaphosa's first address as ANC leader. Apart from tackling corruption, what else did he talk about?
President Ramaphosa spoke about so many things as his focal points. Apart from corruption, he also spoke about the expropriation of land, giving land to the majority black people without compensation. He also spoke about pursuing a policy of radical economic change. He strongly spoke about unity within the party. For we have seen in weeks before that ANC is not united. So as him coming in, he would want to make sure that there is unity in ANC. He also spoke about revitalization of economy, a move that was held by foreign investors. We all know that Cyril Ramaphosa is a strongly businessman, so he would want to bring investors in South Africa. Poverty and unemployment is some of the things that he spoke about in his top list. But another emphasis was acting against corruption, especially in the private ranks.
Now, one main issue during the ANC conference was the disappearance of the 68 votes. What more can you tell us about this missing votes?
Yes, I can confirm that there was a case of missing votes. That was allegedly of Senzo Mtunu, who was the candidate for Secretary General, but it was later resolved. But the case was that there were delegates who were registered and voted, but their votes were not counted. and this cited dispute among supporters. But later, the votes were counted, and 15 were given to Sendom Mtunu. But S. Mahashule remains the Secretary General because he won with 9 votes.
Now, analysts say that Ramaphosa may sack Jacob Zuma in the coming weeks. But do you see this actually happening?
Yes, Zuma's future hangs in the balance because Cyril Ramaphosa has been on record. He made it clear even during his campaign and yesterday that he will deal with corruption, especially involving the private sector, which means Zuma involved. And also his backers, Cyril Ramaphosa, they are fighting for this. So I see Zuma maybe being called early next year. And I can speak also about the National Executive Committee. They are also so want to recall Zuma, and they've been given much powers. So I see Zuma being recalled next year.
Well, while we wait for events to unfold in the coming days, Zimbabwe's president is in South Africa. What do you think that both presidents will be talking about?
The Zimbabwean president might be here in South Africa maybe on 2 things. President Zuma is the SADC chairman, and we all know that during the coup, SADC didn't like the coup, so he might be here maybe want to strengthen the relationship within SADC. And secondly, it's about business. Mnangagwa also, we all know that he's been on point about reviving the economy of Zimbabwe. So South Africa and Zimbabwe shared the biggest history politically and in business. So it is important for Mnangagwa to first look within before heading maybe elsewhere. And mid-year this year, we all know that the 2 countries signed a memorandum of understanding in various fields that include trade and agriculture. And those are the important points where Mnangagwa should look at so that he can revive the economy of Zimbabwe.
South African journalist Bongani Siziba, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. Meantime, Zimbabwe's acting police chief, Godwin Matanga, has admitted the unbecoming actions of his officers and apologized for their wrongdoings. Mr. Matanga's comments come days after it was announced that his predecessor, Augustine Chichuri, was retiring. Before the military took over in November, the police were notorious for mounting roadblocks where they would fine motorists for obscure traffic offences and force them to pay bribes. During the 10 days that saw Robert Mugabe resign as president after 37 years in power, the police were absent from the streets to the joy of Zimbabweans.